Alright, so we are back for another review and a really exciting IEM today. This is the Letshuoer S12. So this is a planar driver, $150. So it adds on to the Planar Wars for 2022. So it falls right smack with the Jokos of the world, the P1 Maxes of the world. So the Planars, the more popular ones in that price range. And this is one of the more hyped as well. So I see this a lot in my comments. So finally we have it in the studio. And yeah, we're gonna try to compare it, contrast. Is this gonna be one of the better planars in the $150 range? We're gonna find out in this video. So Letshuoer S12, audiophile in-ear monitors, and they seem to be getting that maybe typical IEM design. Letshuoer Anywhere S12, planar driver IEM, silver and gunmetal gray color, which is something that I like. 0.78mm 2-pin connector, sensitivity 102, and the impedance as well 16 ohms, and the silver plated monocrystalline copper cable as well. And yeah, this is the first Letshuoer as well in the channel, so would be nice to see how they tune. Is this gonna be a bit more maybe fun compared to the Jokos of the world, the sound notes of the world, because the sound notes are usually more in the maybe colder side of things in the tonality, and the more enthusiast maybe sounding pairs. And the Tin Hi-Fi's recently is going for a more maybe warmer tone in their sound, a bit more maybe fun in terms of the overall tuning. So which one will this fall to? That is something that's really interesting to check out. And this is going to be our unboxing experience. Letshuoer inside, a pretty nice unboxing experience so far. Opening it up, you're getting some manuals here, and let's put that aside, and you're getting that IEM itself. First impressions, it's quite small actually, so quite surprising on that. You are getting some foam tips, and quite nicely organized as well. So this is the things that I like for IEMs, having these kinds of cases. You can bring this around. Right, so putting this aside and going to the inside, you're getting a case, which is definitely nice. Letshuoer as well, a bit misaligned there, but you're getting a maybe full leather case. Actually has some weight to it, which is quite cool. And in terms of the cable, so pretty nice actually. So has some weight to it, and a quite thick cable as well. So yeah, fairly nice quality cable. I would have to say for the $150 range, not the best that I've seen. So you're actually getting 3 sets of tips here, which is definitely nice. Moving on to the IEM itself, and this is what you're getting. So actually this quite a small IEM, smaller compared to some Moondrops that you have. You're getting that maybe blocky design at the side, so you're getting that mix of the usual IEM design with some maybe more futuristic tones here, like for example the square design here, and that is where you're gonna put the cable, which is definitely nice there. On the hand, actually it's quite light for me. So actually in terms of planars, this might be one of the lightest planars that I've seen. So the comfort might be really good here for those with smaller ears. This is one of the smallest planars that I've seen. And in terms of the design as well, very minimalist in design. Not much trims there whatsoever. So this might be a classic design here. So for long activity, this will be nice. So you're not getting some fins as well here. So yeah, again, maybe a SSR or SSP kind of fit for me to the ear, or a smaller maybe Aria fit. So this might be nice to wear on the ear. So we now have it on our ear, and yeah, it's actually a smaller maybe fit to the ears. It's quite breathable for me. It's quite comfortable to wear as well. But actually, surprisingly, it does go fairly inside the ear here. So the isolation for me is quite nice. And also, it's quite breathable for me to the ear. So you can listen to this for a long listening session without any maybe heat build up on the ear here. And even the fit here is quite nice for me because it does go inside the ears. So wearing this outside, when you're walking, this won't fall off your ear. So stability is quite nice here. So even for some maybe live monitoring situations, this will be nice because of that maybe tighter fit for me, that stability. So the design here for me, the looks, the fit, and yeah, perfect for me here. So one of the better fitting planars that I have worn on the ear here. So definitely better compared to some Tin Hi-Fi's that I have tried, and even compared to the Joko as well. I do find this to be better fitting because it's a bit smaller to the ear, a bit maybe easier to wear for more people. So yeah, one of the better fitting, if not the best fitting planars that I have tried. But yeah, let's try out some tracks here. We're gonna listen to some Copacabana by Barry Manilow. So this is the listen to the ear. This more for bright hue type of shapes to the ear here. Firstly, a different sound compared to the Jokos, a different sound compared to the Tin Hi-Fi's as well. So maybe this falls right in the middle for me. So this definitely, less fun compared to your Tin Hi-Fi's, less bassy compared to your Tin Hi-Fi's, but it has a bit more clarity compared to the Jokos here. So this might be a more analytical, maybe Tin Hi-Fi P1 Max for me. So it's a bright hue type of shape for me to the ear. Nicely extended on top, a bit recessed vocal. clean sound overall, but it's nice that you have really tight bass for me here. So definitely the bass here is a bit tighter compared to the thin hi-fis of the world. And for enthusiasts, this is definitely a nice presentation there. And yeah, compared to the Joko, you know, for some people you might find this a bit too cold or too boring of a listen, but here in the S12, it's right in the middle. It's definitely not boring to listen to. It definitely has that a bit more warmth in the overall sound here. So yeah, I do think for enthusiasts, this might be one of the more maybe likable planars that I've listened to so far, and might be my favorite planar actually in terms of the overall sound. So this is the sound that I'm looking for dynamic drivers, but you are getting a planar type of sound here, which is definitely nice. In terms of the tonality, I would say this is slightly in the warmer side of things, but you know, fairly in the center here, so not that far off. Going to the bass here, one of my favorite basses for planars, I'd say. More controlled compared to the thin hi-fi P1 Maxes, and I would say has a bit more impactfulness compared to the Joko, which is something that I like. So for me, for my personal preference, the bass here is my favorite planar bass that I've listened to so far. So you're still getting that planar maybe slam that you're looking for. It's really fast in the presentation. You have that tight presentation, but still you have that impactfulness in overall sound. So I would say no mid bass bleed for me here, which is definitely nice. The bass is quite fast, tight in the presentation as well, and not that overwhelming in the mix as well. So the bass is really controlled for me in the mix. And again, no mid bass bleed. But what I really like about this, maybe over compared to some other planars that I've listened to, is the bass here still has ample impactfulness for me. It doesn't feel thin for me to listen to. It doesn't feel boring for me to listen to. It's not the biggest bass that I've listened to. So if you like bass, I'm still the thin hi-fis of the world will give you a bit more maybe impactfulness there. But the bass here is a bit more controlled, especially in the mid bass region. So the tightness of the bass really nice here for me. One of my favorite basses, if not my favorite bass for a planar here. Going to some Let's Groove by Earth, Wind and Fire. Going to some vocals here, really clear for me in the mix, in the clean side of presentation as well. A little bit recessed in the mix, again not the thickest, maybe most lush vocal that you can listen to. So for vocals, there's other planars that I've listened to that will give you a bit more maybe oomph in the vocals, a bit more maybe smoothness in the vocals compared to this. But this is definitely more of a maybe cleaner vocal presentation, more analytical vocal presentation here. Clean in the mix and quite clear as well. So the clarity is really nice for me in the presentation here. And you have some micro detail, actually a lot of micro detail to boot as well. So you're getting that planar maybe advantages, especially in the vocal region here. And it's really maybe resolving for me in the presentation, really revealing for me in the presentation here. Maybe a touch of maybe aggressiveness there or shout in the overall presentation. So for some people who's more sensitive to maybe aggressiveness in the vocals, you might find a bit of a touch of or a hint of shoutiness there, but not that much. But I really like the raspiness in the voice, the speed in the voice, especially here in Let's Groove by Earth, Wind and Fire. Let's try some Into You by Ariana Grande. So for female vocals as well, still, slightly recessed for me in the mix. It's still in the cleaner side of presentation. But again, here in Ariana Grande, Into You, I like the revealing nature in the vocal, micro detail. And yeah, you're getting a touch of hotness there, but not that much. But definitely, as the positioning is one of the weakness for me here. So yeah, the presentation really nice, but it's just the positioning that I have an issue with. But otherwise, clear presentation here overall. So actually, it reminds me of a maybe monitor type of presentation. Let us try some Erotomania by Dream Theater. Going to some guitars, really nice extension for me on top. So very clear, guitar presentation here. And again, lots of micro detail to boot because of that maybe planar presentation. And I like the energy in the guitars here, that maybe liveliness in the guitars. It's not overly done for me. It's not overly aggressive, but you're getting that live. So definitely a bit warmer in tonality compared to what you're getting with the Jokos. So I like the liveliness here, the more engaging nature of the sound here. So reminds me of a monitor type of sound here actually. So that's one of the closest maybe comparisons that I have. So definitely not a reference pair for me. So more of a monitor type of pair. Even the cymbals here, nice in the presentation for me. Again, maybe a touch of hotness there on top. But I like the clarity in the guitars. And the speed in the guitars is really nice here. Let us try some It's My Life by Bon Jovi. And what I really like about this on top is this is maybe the best top end that I've listened to in a planar yet, because some other planars I didn't really like the top end. Some planars, the top end there has maybe a bit too much maybe metallic nature to the sound, or maybe too much thinness for me in the overall presentation. But here it's definitely the best top end in a planar that I've tried so far. So the body and the cymbals is on point, the guitars is on point, and it doesn't feel thin for me to listen to. Tonality is on point as well. Very impressive here. Let's try some Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. And even here for Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine, the intro, really nice body in the guitars, nicely extended there. you know, the Les Paul resolves, the body in the Les Paul resolves really nicely for me. Going to some soundstage, above average for me, definitely in the bigger side of things. So one of the biggest planers that I've listened to. Going to some separation, really nice for me here because of the maybe controlled nature in the bass, clean presentation as well, tight presentation. Separation is really nice for me here. Separation is quite black and white for me to listen to. And going to micro detail, really nice for me here. So for, you know, planars, this is one of the major advantage. You're getting that speed of a planar for the whole part of the spectrum, which is definitely nice. All right, so that's my take on the Letshuoer S12. So yeah, this is very surprising for me. So yeah, you know, frankly, this is my favorite planar right now. So I do like it over the Choco. So I do find the Choco sometimes maybe too cold in tonality, maybe quite boring of a listen in some tracks. And I do find the Tin Hi Fi P1 Maxes as well. So the top end there, still not my favorite. And also you have that mid-bass elevation in the Tin Hi Fi P1 Max. And the technicalities is not, you know, the same compared to this one. So definitely yes, this is top recommendation for me in the channel. This goes to the channel as recommended, and for sure this will go to the top charts as well, especially for planars, unless there's you know, one planar that will come out in the future. But definitely really impressive here in the presentation here. So I didn't really expect it from Letshuoer because you know, this is the first time that I've listened to them, but finally they were able to, you know, solve some of the cons that I have in some other planars, and they're able to deliver it here with the Letshuoer S12. So really cool here. So really good job for me from Letshuoer for the S12. Alright, so that's my take with the Letshuoer S12. Of course, if you learned something, leave a like and subscribe for content like this in the future. So do you have other planars that you would like me to check out that can trump the S12? Of course, let me know down in the comments below. Of course, thanks for Letshuoer for sending this over. Links down below for their shop. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt video. Goodbye.